Today we are going to show you why some people say, lift with your legs, not with your back. And then we're going to try and explain to you how that looks on a horse. Of course, your back is also involved because your arms aren't attached to your legs. So that whole idea kind of goes down the drain instantly. But we are going to try and show how do you do the idea of lifting with your legs by way of keeping your back in a stable, orderly manner. That's what we're going to try and show today. Wouldn't you say?
And both with a horse's lumbar back and your own.
Oh yeah, because the one influences the other, as we will see. So there's a bunch of videos today. Only videos? No pics today?
No pictures.
Amazing. Only movable pictures. What a fascinatingly modern world we live in. We were going to start at the bottom. That was your idea, wasn't it?
We're starting with a terrible video of me riding Dalton, I think. Just to show you how it looks when the back is really down, or the lumbar back is really down.
Yeah.
And that is this 27:19.
Let's see if we can spot some bad backs. All right. So we said something about stability. Error 101, stability not found.
And I can promise you that sitting to that trot is really terrible.
It is as terrible as it looks.
Yeah.
It is impossible to sit softly on that thing.
Yeah. It's hard and choppy.
Yeah. And you can see also the sorts of things here. You can see the horse is kind of wriggling his butt. You can see that he's, as they say, open behind. Like the opening between the horse's knee and the horse's belly is kind of big. And he's got straight legs that don't... There's like no suspension in the legs at all when they hit the ground.
Can we, next time he comes down there, can you stop it like in the mid there somewhere? Yeah. You can see that his bum is up in the air.
Yeah.
And open behind, that is sort of the angle between his tummy and his stifle, or his hind knee.
Yep.
It's very open. So in order to be able to collect the horse, you need the pelvis to be tucked under a little more.
Yeah.
So then the knee or the stifle comes under his belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other typicals that you can often spot when everything isn't quite as it should have been, is that you see the tail is up.
Yeah.
So we want the tail to be out. But
but horizontal.
But
like
not up.
No, 10 centimeters about that outwards, directly from its base.
Yeah.
And then falling relaxed down.
Yeah, because what we want is like evenly distributed positive tension throughout the top line is what we want. But this horse has unevenly distributed too much and too little tension all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's no integrity. Or a cool word I see some people throw around on the internet, tensegrity in the top line.
Yeah, and the tail is a part of the spine.
Yes, it is.
So you can look at the tail and tell something about how the spine behaves.
Something, yeah.
Something, not everything.
No. All right. So you had another idea too.
Yeah, I was thinking that we could look at a horse that has almost not been ridden. He's been sat on. He's a young horse and he's had some trouble, so we haven't started him. He's 5 years old.
Yep.
And that's Gallant, and the movie is like 6911.
6911.
And I watch what it looks like when the horse is sort of having a good quality, good basic quality.
Yep.
But and he's a little open behind as well.
A little bit.
But this is not choppy.
No. I'd say he's probably a little bit hard on the forehand.
Yeah.
Because he's still a little bit tense in the front parts of the back, and sometimes he's getting it sort of right, and then it becomes heavy and he doesn't want to. You can see that everything here is way better. The joints in the hind legs are flexing as the horse hits the ground. You can see that the lumbar spine is sort of raised. The tail is out, like we were saying. This is a fairly good representation of a not schooled but not spoiled horse.
Yeah. So he's, it's untidy because he's as you say, he's not schooled. So he balances a little like.
Yeah, but sometimes if you watch for the sort of highlights of this short little clip, you'll see that sometimes the whole horse sort of falls into this right frame.
Yes. And
so we'll see.
He's usually better than this, but I took this with my mobile camera.
Oh yeah.
While I was lunging.
Yeah. He's not having that.
No, then he doesn't concentrate because he know that I'm
You're not concentrating. I won't concentrate. All right. So those are two sort of representations of one that isn't the first one isn't well trained because of all sorts of issues. We've talked about that too, boredom, and one that is not yet trained apart, but nor is he schooled so that he can represent the formal body language that we are looking for in the arena.
Yeah. So and also one of these horses, the young one, is a good quality horse. And all the others that we're going to show are either they have been injured, they have had like strain injuries, they have been training for something entirely different. Just like we're going to see a race trotter, and they need to be retrained.
Yeah.
So what we're going to show you guys is that how you can train your horse that isn't that special or fantastic, expensive, or the horse that has had injuries that need to be retrained. So let's look at that trotter, shall we? And that is a long horse. If we start with the Ida 1 video. Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, that's number 2. Okay. Then we'll try with the Ida 2 then. First, can we do that? Change it because then we get the right progression. You can see that he's the side rein here is to make sure that he doesn't position his head to the outside. So he's trying to stretch, but you can see that his back is really long.
Very long.
And he's very open behind.
Yeah.
And there's actually no, I can't see any movement in the back muscles. Can we close up a little, Ivar, just to see if we can see more? Yeah, see that the muscles in the back behind the girth, that is a little too much. Can we take a little less? No, we can just let's stay there because we saw that there was no. The back was still. There is no movement other than that. Of course, the horse is moving, but the muscles are not bulging or moving. It's still.
If you look at the shoulder, you can see that the muscles are sort of just flopping around.
Yeah, you can see that they're working.
Yeah. So there's work done there.
Yeah.
And then if we look at the hindquarters, you can see that the muscles there are doing something.
Yeah.
But if you look at the back, it just looks a bit dead.
Yeah. It looks like a plank that is wobbling a little up and down.
Yep.
So let's look at the Ida 1 movie. Yeah, here you can see that Ida has tightened up the inside the side rein a little more. So now she's actually working with the diagonal that goes from the near hind leg to the off front leg, the right hind leg to the left front leg.
Yep.
So that that diagonal, so that you're making sort of a parallelogram of the horse. So you're letting the outside shoulder out.
Yeah.
So he's able to push his inside stifle or knee in the hind leg underneath You can see that happens.
Yeah, he's closing that angle quite a lot, actually.
Yes,
And
it's difficult for him to do that on both sides in the beginning.
Yeah,
but if you take one leg and one shoulder,
yeah,
it's easier.
Yeah. This is a principle that is used quite a lot in training of people as well. If you want to, let us say, you want to stretch the front of your thigh or the front of your hip joint, we often recommend that you sort of put one leg out behind you or up along a wall or something like that. This, I'm pretty sure some of you guys know what we're talking about here. But when you do that, it's important that you don't make your back and your lumbar spine swayed. And that is very easy to do. So what you do instead is put one leg forward.
Yes. It's the
and
same.
That's sort of the same idea here. You allow one leg forward and you allow for bend through the back, which is kind of weird for us two-legged creatures. Because we don't really have to do that. But when you have to keep all your limbs on the ground, it's kind of hard to not do that. So that bend also allows for different, what can I say, shortcomings in how the hind legs are working. So because of the shortcomings, we do something weird to the front end of the horse that allows the hind end to start working the right way. And then that sort of wave through the back of the horse will start pushing from the inside, like you said, the inside hind to the outside hind.
And also it's stretching the outside of the neck.
All sorts of things happen at the same time.
Because that enables the neck to stretch when it, like afterwards.
Yep.
And then it also, like the under neck is more relaxed.
Yep. It allows for more relaxation there, absolutely. Cool. So
if we can see that there is also one video of him trotting, that is a 7164. And that is also with the side rein on the other inside. And we need to say that the outside rein is important. Many people say, but it's wrong with the only the inside rein. But this is to engage the back. And now you can see sometimes the muscles in the lumbar back is sort of, you can see that it's pulsing.
Yeah,
it's working.
You can see that sometimes his head comes too high and the back goes sort of silent. And then he drops behind and it goes silent again. But then he starts to find sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
It is best. There we go. Couple strides. There we go. Another. And then you can see that sometimes when he starts stretching, you can see the muscles in the back go boom.
Yeah.
And then as he gets all the way down, it kind of stops again.
Yes.
So you have to find that in between thing.
Yeah.
But also sometimes, like if you have to do stretching, I have to do stretching because I'm strong and I'm stiff. My muscles are tense and short and want to be stiff. And that means I have to put my body in really awkward positions in order to increase the flexibility in those specific areas.
Yes.
And that's something that we have to do with the horses too. This isn't always necessary with really good young horses, for instance.
No.
But when you have trouble with the horse, then this might be necessary. Or you can put it another way and say, this is a possible solution.
Yes. And of course, it's very important that you don't use both side reins here, because then he will just curl his neck and go behind the vertical.
He'll be like that all the time.
Yeah, and he will not engage his back.
Yeah.
Because that is when he's used to walking like this with his hind legs very far to the back, it's very difficult for him to just change that. And if you can pull the reins as much as you like, but it's not going to be a change.
Yeah, this is a very interesting specimen, because if you look at it just sort of separately, the hindquarters don't look bad.
No,
it's not. Like the connection between the hindquarters and the back don't look too bad. You agree?
But
it's kind of up.
Yeah, but it's still a very long distance.
Yes, it's very. And the question is, why the hell is that? But if you look at his rib cage underneath him, you can see that it kind of sticks out. there's
Yeah.
like a sharp angle there.
Mm-hmm.
That means the whole midsection of the horse, like his abs and all that, you know, are not engaged at all.
True.
Interesting, eh?
So that is why we call it, you know, collecting the horse.
Because you make him...
You make him shorter.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah. Can we... the picture that we had in the...
Oh, yeah.
in the poster for the video. Let's have a look at the video. Zero. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
You can see that the horse is really short. That horse is not normally this short.
No, that is true.
That is because you see the stifles, the knees and the hind legs, they're underneath the belly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because he is lifting the lumbar back behind the saddle.
Yeah.
And then the pelvis is slanting down, and the tail is sort of the opposite of Dalton.
Yeah.
It's slanting down, and then he's able to carry. And in the video, if we can see the video, 0856, that is when you're actually doing the training for the levade. Just you can see in slow motion how the lift is, or the back is lifting the forehand. And some of these videos, we had some problems with the focus on the camera, and we didn't realize that until it was too late. So we have to just live with those flashes. I guess we can see it anyway.
Yeah.
You see that now he's able to do that lifting because he has his bum underneath him.
Yeah. So no perfection in this one.
No, it's a young horse, and yeah. So
but can we see that a couple more times? I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So he still pushes off a little bit with his front legs. I haven't seen these videos, as usual. But we have to look at this. Look at the lumbar spine now. He goes a little bit tense there compared to what he should have done. And that, you can see that in... but you have to see that in conjunction with the fact that you can see when he sits down, he squats into it and really bends the knees, but he doesn't really activate his hamstrings properly. And then you can see that there's sort of a slight disjoint. You could see it in the picture too, just in front of the pelvis. He's slightly not joined there. He needs to be
really strong there to able to lift up, because he pushes off with his front legs a little bit, and that is the reason why he can't just balance there. But that is something that he will be able to do when he's like 12.
Probably, yeah. So what we're doing now, we're doing now is sometimes we practice this. So important for me here to tell you guys, this is practice for him. The muscles we train here are strong as anything in this particular movement. Not in the perfect movement, but in what he does, he's extremely strong. He doesn't get tired of doing this at all. What he does get tired of is cantering. That makes him really, he finds cantering hard. And I think that is because that makes him, or allows him to, doesn't matter what you call it, to engage across the connection between the pelvis and the lumbar spine.
But if we, since we are talking about that horse, can we take a look at, that's a video from 1 year ago or something, a little more than 1 year ago?
Probably.
I think so. It's like 42:28. And here you can see that the tail is up.
Yeah.
And he looks much longer. And there is no bounce in the trot.
No.
This is because we have looked at this horse before. He has been very low in the withers, and we were talking about that before. Yep. You can see that it feels like the hindquarter is sort of doing its own thing.
Yeah.
So the front legs they have to do all the work of keeping you as a rider up.
Yep.
So if we look at the same horse in trots, now, just a couple of days ago. That is 0924. And this is it was a very stressful day, so the horse was a little tense. So that is why he's working so much with his mouth. You can see that he's more engaged and he's more rhythmic, and he doesn't look so flat, but he's still longer than when you collected him.
Yeah.
Have a look at this, and then we'll go back to the other video that was 0856. Look how short he is. It's the same session.
Same session, yeah.
It's the same horse, same session. Nothing is changed. But you know, this horse is has had some problems with this, so he needs to be. Here he's practicing putting his bum under
and trying to lift his back and
yeah, and
properly.
then you go forwards again in trot and see, can you do this while we're trotting, and it's better.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it's like we have some work to do.
Yep.
So we're doing all these different things that we are talking about in the videos, and then we have me. Then let's see. Let's look at the first one again, like the 2719, just to see how bad it was. Rattle, 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 rattle. And then let's look at yesterday. That is 0938.
Weather's the same, but the temperature is different.
This is a different horse, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This was not possible to ride with a loose rein like this and just riding the rising trot.
He would just run.
Yeah. He would just run away.
Mm-hmm. So still, back isn't perfect, but as you can see, it's way, way better.
And you can see that the muscles are working.
Absolutely. And also the muscles in the neck, you can see that muscle like between your hand and forward, between your hands and forward there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That muscle is really important.
Yeah. Can we see once more and a close up on the muscles? Yeah. You see that? Fluff, 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 fluff. The muscles that are working, you can see that they're working.
Yeah.
So look for that, and also for the abs muscles, the stomach muscles of the horse.
Yeah.
They are also important for stabilizing the back.
Yeah.
And so the whole top line is actually working here, and this horse is not ready for collection now. He needs to train a lot to get the right muscles in his top line, and then we could start sitting down and doing some more collection work. But we're gonna show you me and Dalton trying to do the piaffe.
Yep.
Earlier, and then at the same session or the same day as this one.
All right.
So that you can, because people are interested in how to do the collection work as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the tail here. It's much more horizontal at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good sign. And the reason why I'm touching the inside rein all the time is that I'm trying to ride on a circle, and he prefers to go straight forwards. So so I have to remind him a little. We're going to uncircle here.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot again. Oh, I forgot.
But you can see that the rhythm is much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's have a look at, let's see now. I think it's I just have to look at the pictures. Yeah.
This is the old one?
It's the 5885.
Yep. So
this is a long time ago. No. It's more than 1 year ago, I think.
Could be last autumn, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be the autumn. This autumn, I think, perhaps it is. I'm trying to sit on my bum, and my body is really wobbly, so it's difficult for me.
Yeah.
But it's even more difficult when I'm riding that horse. Now it's actually I'm getting better in my back by riding him.
Yeah.
So, but you see that his back is really down.
Yeah.
And when I'm trying to collect him, he's actually not putting his bum underneath him.
No, he shortens his top line the wrong way.
Yeah.
He shortens his back by way of pushing his belly towards the ground.
Yeah.
So he shortens the stride, but not in the right way.
Yeah.
This is a thing that I quite often I will tell people about this who ride in like war saddles. Some people call them. This is a Portuguese saddle, and it's got a very high cantle on the rear, right? And if you push on that, if you like sit back and lean on that, it will exaggerate the seat aid, the aid of your balance. If the horse is very strong, he'll just keep his back up and sit down when you do that. If the horse isn't, he'll just drop his back instead.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter much for someone who's going to war.
No.
You'll make the horse stop if you want him to stop anyway. So just hold the rein and push back on that, and the horse will go, oh, and stop.
It's interesting, yeah.
And that's an important point here, that sometimes you can, for us, what do you say? What could we call them? Us normal riders who we're fiddling around trying to do what the masters have described in their books with their 80 years of experience standing on the shoulders of other giants, and then us puddling around like this in a puddle most of the time. We're trying to understand these things, right? And trying to do those things. And when you sit back and hold a little bit and you feel like, oh, the horse shortens the stride, that's what is described. Maybe. Some of the time. Some of the time, not so much. So go back to the book and look again. Or go back to did I really get that the right way? Because quite often you can get two similar feeling ideas, but they are opposites. So in this instance, when you sit back on Dalton, he'll just keep dropping his back, and there's like no end to how far he can drop it.
Sit as straight as you can, and you are strong in your seat. And if you sit on him and just do that, he will drop his back as well.
He'll go squawk, and he feels like riding a chicken.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And I guess that is because it might be painful. It might be really disagreeable for him to do that tensing up in his back.
We don't know that. But what we do know is that the back will tense up, and there needs to be a very tight association between how tense are the back muscles and how much push is there from the hamstrings. That's what we need to understand. So when the hamstrings that curl around the butt of the horse like that, when they contract, they push the butt forward, and then the back should rise from that. But if the back muscles are really tense and kept at the isometric stage, so they're not stretching when you push with the hamstrings, then the back will never come to the right position, and it will be dropped even when it comes back down. If the horse rears, if the horse pesades or levades, most horses will come up in front, but not enough up in the back. That's the problem I have still with my horse as well. It is quite normal, and this is typical for any training or retraining. This is something that most people, if they do squats and stuff like that, they have no idea about this until they have trained for years and years, and then you have to start over and do it in a slightly different way to make sure that you get all the right muscles in the job.
And if you look at the horse, the young horse that was lunged, that had this good bouncy step, he had an intact bridge in the top line, so he could lift from the hindquarters and through the back, but when the horse does like Dalton does here, it's impossible for the hind legs to lift the front part. But I have a video of me and Dalton this week.
Oh yeah,
it's 0903, and it's not perfect and it's not good now either, but it's better. Now the hind legs are doing what they should. You see that?
Sometimes the hamstrings do their job properly.
But still, he's not able to lift his forehand.
No.
So the hind legs, they're stepping under.
Yeah.
And they're doing it like really regularly. But the front is here. He's starting to try to lift.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
But he thinks it's difficult. And then I just have to sit there and just wait and let him try.
Let him fiddle it out. And this is a thing that it's impossible to know exactly which part of the horse here that isn't strong enough or isn't flexible enough or whatever it is. But the work has to be the same. Because what we can see here is that the back looks too tense and or too short. Quite often, if the muscle isn't strong enough, it'll tense up and try to hold its isometric short as possible position, because that's where it's strongest. When it is contracted to the maximum, quite often the muscle is strongest in that position. And then it tries to do that job of holding that much bigger butt that he has, because his butt is huge, but his back isn't strong enough to what do we say? It is not strong enough to support that strong butt.
Yeah, because you can see when you look at the front end and the hind end of the horse, it looks like two different horses.
Yeah.
So, but you can see when we close up, you can see that the muscles in the lower the lumbar back is actually doing something in some moments. Here it's like quite dead, but then
there's a moment just after here, I think. It wasn't there.
Oh, but it's you can see that it's a little better. And then I change between this and the thing that we saw, if we can see that again, like the 0938. And stretching and doing. So that reminds him that these back muscles, they should be stabilizing. And
yeah.
Now when he's doing this, he's able to do it.
Just about able to.
If I shorten the reins more, he will forget it. Then he tenses up.
Yeah.
Because he has been a show jumper and he has this memory of the reins means tensing up and the head in the air, position to the outside and running. And I don't know if he's been ridden like that. I don't know anything about that.
No.
But that is what he does.
Yeah, that is what he does. That's what we know. That's what he does now.
Yeah.
Or used to do for like a few years back and does less and less. That's sort of what we know. So
and we haven't, because our horses are either young or we have horses that are having trouble.
Young in the training, I've heard it said.
So we haven't got any horse that we can show, look here, here's how you should do it.
No.
But we think that maybe you guys think it's fun to watch how the horses are developing, because I guess you have horses too that needs that are in need of training and have trouble.
If your horse isn't in need of training or doesn't have trouble, just go watch something else.
Go away. So I was wondering if we should look a little more at Mandar Benue.
We can.
And I'm sorry for the quality of the videos, because there was this trouble with
dust.
There was so much
arena.
dust in the arena that the focusing just freaked out, and we didn't know that until afterwards. And we didn't have time to take new videos, so we had to use the ones that were less trouble.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to show how there is one in canter, and he has had, as you said, he has had lots of trouble with cantering at all.
Oh yeah.
Because he was running and like biting into the bit and just taking it.
absolutely not able to canter him to the left for the first, I don't know, 8-9 months at least I had him, I believe. And then I was sometimes, with a lot of luck, able to canter him to the left. And then sometimes when I asked for the right lead canter, I'd get the left. You know how that feels. So that's sort of, I can get it if it's the wrong canter, then I can get it. But so that was difficult for a long time. The right lead canter, it got there sooner, but like the first 2 or 3 times I managed it, he took off with me, and I had to just wait till it stopped. It's like a super tanker just going, and doesn't stop at all. So it was difficult for a long time. And the reason is, of course, that he's so down in his wither. So, and that you can't just, and then he's up in the wither.
Because then it's something about stiff muscles, weak muscles, like movement pattern and his habit.
Yep.
And then, many things.
And as we have seen in all the little clips we've seen today, you can see that the main thing you have to manage is the the word is escaping me. The tension of the back must be equal to the tension in the hindquarters. If it isn't, if that tension, what do you call it? Connection? No, that's not the right word. I'm looking for another word. Doesn't matter. If that isn't correct, then it doesn't matter how much you can get the hind legs to do. I tried this for, everybody out here knows that. I tried this for 10, 15 years. And I got really good at making the horse sit down. And you could launch from that, but you can't carry that into the movement forward. And what we see now in the horses that we've looked at now is that the better the connection between those two ideas is, the better the horse moves, the better the rhythm is, the better the connection to the front, the better the muscular activity throughout the horse. You can see that in all the videos we have shown so far today. You can see that there is an absolute connection between those two ideas. The back must work for the hind legs to be able to do their job.
Yes.
And that is why you get schwung, straightness, and then collection in the German training scales. So that then, of course, if the horse is down in the withers, he's either without tension down there, so it's just not doing anything. That is wrong. Or he's too tense in an area, most often around where the saddle sits. And the horse will be too tense in that area, and that makes it impossible for the energy to pass through that too tense block of muscle.
Yeah, let's look at that. You know, the trot that is looks balanced, but it's very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 42-28. Because it's like very, very flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's very easy to sit to because it doesn't move. And the front legs and the hind legs are they're not working in unison.
No, it looks like the horse is trying to sneak across underneath me.
Yes.
Without
so
me managing. without me spotting him, sort of. Oh, I'm not even here. But he's very soft to sit. But you can still feel that sort of, even if the movement is soft, the circle that should have been moving with my seat bones, there isn't a circle.
It's like a D. Floating. Yeah, it's like a D.
Yeah, it moves like half the circle and then you just drop.
Yeah.
It feels like you go straight into a wall. It doesn't hit. It's not hard when you land at the bottom. It's soft as anything, but you just
that
can't
again so
move forward.
Can see it.
Your seat, this is my seat. It should move forward like that in a circle. But Mandarb has this. This is his withers, and you get like.
It feels.
And
like
it's not. It's never hard when the legs hit the ground. It's soft as. It's just plushy, but you can't move forward. You're like, I just stop.
So then we can, if we look at the other trot video again, it's the 0924.
Yeah. So like Hanna says, here the horse is still a bit tense, but as you can see, he moves a lot more forward. His hind legs are a lot more underneath. He sort of lifts the front legs a little bit, and sometimes this connection is right. So in this particular trot, it doesn't need a lot of carrying capacity in the back, and it doesn't need a lot of push capacity in the hindquarters, right? Because it's a small little trot.
Yeah.
But the parallelogram of the whole horse is getting to a point where it sometimes looks right. You see that sometimes he looks like he's almost uphill. But still, when you look at how the musculature is working, it's just tiny, a little bit, just a little tiny bit of work. And that's how it should be. But if I want him to work harder than that, I must access more of the up through the withers thing.
Yeah, and he must be able to let you give yield with the reins without running.
Yeah, and
because that was that day he wanted to run.
I didn't have many options.
Yeah, and it's that video that we were able to obtain. At that day.
This might have something to do with the fact that day before, and the day before that again, I spent 15 hours in the car.
Yeah.
Something like that. So my hips weren't up to the task of being filmed.
We're not working with ideal. We're always trying to use the videos that we are able to make fresh videos. That is something that we have recently done. So we're not trying to make the best videos that we can, but the videos that can show you something that is interesting. And then let's look at the canter video, because that is interesting, because in canter the horse really needs to lift his forehand up, or else he can't do the sort of the moment in the stride where he actually lifts and flies through the air with his legs underneath him.
Yeah.
It's 0932. And you're trying here to let him make a bigger stride.
Yeah.
I can see the D.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It is actually quite possible to see in this clip that I move forward and then it just goes stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, because it doesn't go up.
No. And then of course my strength keeps me in the saddle anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like I bounce. I do. It doesn't look like it, because I bring the horse with me and I can make my body move fast enough to compensate for that D thing. But you see that there. You see just after the corner, you can see that I'm cheating. But you can see the D you talk about. It is clear to be seen. I just move. Doesn't move round. It goes boom, 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 and then just after the last corner, you'll see that I look down, I get my leg in the right position, and my seat bounces.
Yeah.
So that's just my body cheating me out of it.
And you're also trying to let him stretch.
Yes, I am. I'm trying
because
to let
that is important here. In order to get the back to lift, you must give the reins forwards, and so the horse has room to lift his withers.
Yeah.
But here in this video, he's not able to do that because then he will run. But what is interesting when you're talking about the lumbar back is that when he's lengthening his stride here, he has to try to use his lumbar back.
And you can see that for the middle strides on the long side, the back looks best in the middle strides, around here. Just before and just after that little glitch in the matrix there, you can see that the back actually does some work around here.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that you need to do all these things and vary between all the different ways to train to look for the lifting of the back and the stretching of the head, the stretching of the neck. So I would like to go back to that stretching video again.
Yeah.
The 0938, because that is what you should end up with. I think with all training, you should let the horse stretch and find his rhythm. And I promise you, this horse has not been easy to find any rhythm at all, but it is possible. And what we've done is that all kinds of training, all kinds of people have been riding the horse, and good riders, and also good therapists.
Yep.
All kinds of very good therapists have been working with him, and his teeth are fine and his hooves are fine. With lots of people working with that, but he's been very, very stiff in his back and shoulders and his neck, and also his left hind leg.
Yep.
And when they're stiff in many places like that, it takes a long time.
Yep.
So you need to be patient. That is how it is to have horses. You need to wait until they're ready.
Yep.
But you, as a very, very good trainer usually says, he says, take your time, but don't waste your time. It's a good motto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always work, always train, always do more than you think you should do.
So I was wondering, should we just end it a little early today because it's summer?
Yeah. So we have this YouTube thing going now.
Mm-hmm.
So try and find Trollspejl on YouTube and subscribe to us there, pretty please, with sugar on top. That'll help you see more of our videos.
And more videos are coming.
Yes, and they're much easier to find and look back and forth in than the Facebook version of the films. Mm-hmm. We are going into tournament season now. We have actually started.
And summer clinics.
Started it. Mm-hmm. But tournament season is starting. I am going away for a couple of big tournaments this year. Mm-hmm. The World Championship in Romania. Mm-hmm. That's going to be, or the World Joust Championship is the correct name, I suppose. And then the Champion of Champions at Arundel later.
In England.
In England. And then we are bringing some big guns to our tournament at our place in September as well.
The first weekend of September, everyone is welcome to come. And we're getting that's an international jousting tournament.
Yeah, it's the 8th to the 10th of September.
Mm-hmm. And there are riders coming from England and from Australia.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And Norway.
And lots of people from Norway, of course.
Yay, some Norwegians.
And then there are still some free spots in our summer clinic, especially in the two first ones, and in I think it's week 25 and 26. Those they have some empty spots there.
Yeah. Other than that, it looks like it's full or more than full.
More than full, yeah.
So we'll have our hands full this summer.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is the last stream before summer.
Yes, it is.
So we'll try to take some videos during summer. So that
we'll try. We'll try. We are really good at trying. Not as good as fulfilling always.
There's so many other things that we need to do.
There's a few things we need to get done.
Yeah.
So
I hope you enjoyed our season, and let's see you in the autumn.
On the other side. Thank you guys for following us. See you guys later.